We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with a few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Yo, dudes, what up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's been a week. It's been 2 weeks, I guess, technically, because we take a week off and then you guys go away and then we go away and then you miss us and we get all your fan mail and all that stuff that I wish would happen. But we got fan message.
We've gotten fan mail before. Shout out to our boy Vince.
Oh yeah,
for a very fun action movie card game. Yeah.
But anyway, shout outs to everybody that's already joining us in the chat. What's up, Vince? What's up, Logan, Sam? Everybody that's already tuned in. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're back. It is 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since you looked at me, as Sam just said over on Facebook. Hey, he said it, not me. Do I have glitter on my face? Look at me. Look how am I a vampire? Am I like a Twilight vampire? Look at me. I'm beautiful. I've been doing Christmas decorations.
You could be the Batman.
I could be the Batman. I want to be the Batman. I'm vengeance. Been doing a lot of Christmas decoration. Obviously, those of you guys that know me in person, we just wrapped up Halloween. October was a big month, and that's why we were not here up in the studio last week talking movies at you, because it was November 1st. Who cares? You know, I had Halloween hangover. I don't know what Jake was doing. What were you doing?
Say, you go hard on Halloween. What was I doing?
Yes, I do.
I wasn't here. There's that.
You weren't.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're back. Anyway, we're going to be talking about movies. We're going to be talking about stuff that happened in the past week or so in movie news, trailers that dropped, news that did. I didn't confirm this because I've been like absolutely so busy. Did Sean Connery for real die?
I haven't heard about this.
Well, like I thought I saw it on somebody's social media, and then I was like, why is nobody talking about this? He died on Halloween.
No,
he died. He died. Yeah, he died like a year ago. Is Sean Connery dead? Why did I see this pop up in my news feed? Sean Connery's totally dead. Why am I talking about this? This is how spaced out I am, you guys. Because I saw it in like my Facebook feed and was like, "Yo, Sean Connery," and I was like, I feel like I've either mourned his death already, or no one's talking about this. So yeah, this is the 1 year anniversary of Sean Connery's death, and goes to show you how much we give a shit.
There's just so much going on. I didn't. Yeah, who knew?
Who knew? Well, not us. So
maybe we did.
We quit. We're terrible movie hosts.
I don't know.
No,
Hey.
It's terrible.
Well, there's a lot of things going on.
There are
in the world of movies, especially the last couple of years, trying to maintain themselves, and now you have things like the shooting on the set of Rust that continues to make news.
I remember us talking about when he died because we were talking about Zardoz, and I was trying to get you in a Zardoz outfit.
One day when I'm in shape and take a lot of hair growth supplements
and hallucinogenic drugs to be okay with it.
Yeah. I'll get in really good shape, and then I'll cover myself in like spray glue, like that 3M spray glue, and then you'll just have to get like what once was a gorilla costume, but like shaved down.
Oh, for your body hair?
Yeah, and we'll just turn a fan on and throw it in front of the fan, and what sticks will make me like Connery and
It's
Zardoz.
like tar and feathering, but for Sean Connery body hair. Anyway, I don't know what we're talking. This is what happens when you take a week off. But we're going to be talking about some more news later in the show. I went and saw last night in Soho. We're going to be talking about that later in the show. And what did you see?
I went and watched Anate.
A little Tamil cinema there.
Yeah, the new superstar Rajnikanth Tamil movie that came out. So,
hell yeah! So we're gonna be talking about that in the second half hour of the show. But news. We got to cover the news. I got to drink some of this brandy because I got to get on my game. You've got the piece of paper. What did you write on your piece of paper?
Man, there wasn't much news. Vince actually said something about my reaction for Vin Diesel making Rock come back to the Fast and Furious primary main series. Hadn't even heard about it. I missed that one.
What? You missed some Fast and Furious news.
I know. Well, after that last movie, who cares, right? You know.
I'm still celebrating my victory over you admitting that was a bad movie.
Yeah, that one was bad. The rest of them, amazing, incredible films. Most of the news I've been seeing is still centered around like Rust and all of the stuff coming with that, with Alec Baldwin making some statements, finding out that he's a producer on the film and how that is coming there. And now everyone's starting to do the whole Spider-Man meme where they're pointing fingers at each other. So it's becoming a very convoluted situation, as you would expect it to be, because someone is likely to get in trouble for accidental death on
well,
set.
everybody needs to have a fall guy, you know, and making movies. I was actually having cocktails with a couple of my buddies in the film industry last night. Shout outs to Dave and Zach. Dave was in town. And we all got together and we're chit-chatting, and just we were talking about how hard it is on set these days, where, I mean, you know, I don't know if you read about this because this is like huge news, but Emilio Estevez is not going to return to like the Mighty Ducks series season 2 because of COVID vaccination. He's not going to get one, and almost every set these days requires you have your COVID vaccine.
Coach Gordon would act like that.
He would.
That's like at the beginning of the movie Mighty Ducks, Coach Gordon, not the second half of the movie where they win him over.
Yeah, it's part one.
That's very
Act 1.
DWI, forced to help kids, butthole lawyer, Coach Gordon.
Emilio.
Yeah.
But you know, that's a real thing. It's like certain crew can't be on set, certain actors can't be on set if they haven't been vaccinated. You've got the whole IATSE thing that's going on still with working conditions, and you know, just simple things as lunch breaks and not working 16 hours a day. Now you got people getting shot accidentally on set. You've got all the deals with like the streaming service deals not being as good as the theatrical deals. Like, making movies is very difficult right now, and it's really interesting to see how all this is going to be playing out. You know, it's just getting trickier and trickier and trickier.
Well, so Lojweb asked us, how did Live Ammo even get on set? That's part of the news that came out, is that supposedly the cast and crew were target practicing while they were away from set or on break. All of the armorer on set and everyone involved in that claims that that's not the case, that they were under lock and key. However,
Covering their ass is
when
what
the
it sounds
police looked and found the weapons, one of them was just in a fanny pack, and two of them were in unlocked boxes. So they found 3 guns, like over 900 rounds, blanks, shells, and live ammunition, things like that. So it was intermixed. But the claims now are that cast and crew were just out dicking around in the desert shooting stuff on their breaks because they thought it was fun, and
because that's what people with guns. No offense to all our gun-toting viewers, because I know there's a few of you out there, but like guns as toys. I've said this for years. People treat guns as toys, and they go, "No, it's a real ass important thing." Hey, you guys want to go out in the backyard and shoot some shit? Well, that's it's a toy.
Yeah, I really don't want to get into this.
Yeah,
guy.
I will every time.
Guns
are not toys.
Alec Baldwin did say he agrees that on set had very lax safety standards, and he was not personally happy with it. So there's all sorts. It's a big old mess there. Something that made the news too, because they're trying to make it a big deal just to get the news out there. Someone died not on the set, but during the filming of the new Indiana Jones movie.
Someone died?
Yeah, he flew in. He died in the hotel room, and they think it was natural causes. So,
or he's like, I can't believe I'm making another Indiana Jones movie. Oh God, and he just offed himself. He read the script and he offed himself.
No, but he flew to Morocco specifically to help with some stunt scene, and then passed away.
I hope that everybody that flies for an Indiana Jones movie, there's just like a red arrow that follows their plane, and it's like across a map.
Yeah.
But I don't know. In my head, there is. I mean, live rounds on set. You know, I've worked on sets that had guns, and my God, the protocol for having guns on set is insane. You know,
apparently this set was super lax, and
they're just shooting by the hip.
the armorer and assistant director and like all of these people are definitely pointing fingers at each other and all this stuff. They're all lawyered up, everything like that. There was something. Sam said The Rock has come out and said no more real guns on his
This
set.
is true. Yep, I read that as well.
Well, talking about The Rock and him being in the news, did you see that that Red Notice movie got released early and nobody noticed?
No, I didn't. I didn't notice.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to come out until like this week, but it was listed at theaters last week. And then also, The Rock had a hip hop song come out while we were gone. How about that?
It kind of reminds me when I was a kid and there was like, football player, like in the 90s, and like football players would do like raps, like, and then there was like the Super Bowl shuffle. And, like, didn't Shaq have like a rap album or something?
Shaq had several rap albums. You're talking about Big Daddy
Papa Pump?
Yeah.
Was it Diesel Pump?
Shaq Diesel.
Diesel Pump number 7. I don't know. That would be pump number 7. I like that because that's the diesel pump, right? I don't know. Depends on your gas station. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's such gimmicky bullshit. Anyway, other news is going out. I don't know if you read about this, but the director from Beyond the Place Beyond the Pines and Blue Valentine is working on his new film, which, believe it or not, is Universal's Wolfman, which they're taking another stab at this after, the supposed rise of the Dark Universe and then the collapse of the Dark Universe thanks to Tom Cruise's The Mummy film. And now they're like, yeah, we're gonna try this again, even though the resurrection of the Wolfman with the Benicio del Toro kind of fell apart because the multiple directors, multiple special effects people, and other whatever. It's still actually a pretty good movie, but they cast Ryan. Go back and watch it. It's not bad.
Man, I've watched it.
It's not bad. If they had left the original plan in action with the original special effects team, because it was all going to be practical effects, and I want to say it was Stan Winston was going to be doing all the effects.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, and so Stan Winston had to take a back seat to CGI Town, and that was not cool. But anyway, Ryan Gosling is set to take the lead of the new werewolf, and I'm okay with it.
Is he going to be like Teen Wolf? Because Ryan Gosling's like too cool to be a regular werewolf.
That would be actually pretty sick.
He would have to be like, Scott, what's his name? Teen Wolf. Basketball player.
He's like surfing on a van, and he's like, I would like a keg of beer.
Give me the beer now.
Such a good movie.
So are they still going to have Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise? Is it going to be the same thing, or is this another attempt to reboot the universe, or are they just doing standalones like it should be anyhow?
I think they need to just do standalones. I mean, I know what they're trying to do. Like, if I were Universal and I looked back at the 1930s through the 1950s, where they were just like, you had Invisible Man, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, Frankenstein. You had all of these dudes that were just kicking ass, taking names. And then they started doing, Abbott and Costello meets the werewolf, meets Dracula, meets Frankenstein. Creature from the Black Lagoon rides up in a Ferrari and picks up Wolfman. And it's like Monster Squad, like every day of the week. And they're showing all these movies and they're making all this money. They want that again. And with everybody wanting these cinematic universes right now, it makes sense. But it also doesn't make sense because...
What if they're aiming for like versus movies, or to create basically a Monster Bash movie where they form a rock and roll band?
That's what I'm saying. Let's get a Monster Bash where it was like, working in the lab late one night, and then, Dracula... gets the what was it?
Shreds.
Frankenstein on lead guitar. Actually, Frankenstein's
on the keys.
He's the keys. Yeah.
Dracula's the guitar.
Wolfman's always on drums.
I thought Mummy was on drums.
No, Mummy seems like a bass player to me. Just kind of like
Oh yeah, because the arms.
Because he's just like lanky and weird. But I mean, the Wolfman's got to play drums. He's like Animal. There's like spinning sticks and ow, and then like cowbell, bing, 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 bing. Like,
okay,
dude, I could see Wolfman on drums.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be about that. Like, or let's just make another Monster Squad. I don't think these like super serious
And then
movies.
everyone can see Ryan Gosling's Wolfman nards.
Yeah, Gosling's got nards. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fans out there that would love to see Gosling's nards, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool news. In a week, 2 week period where there wasn't a whole lot of news. I mean, the Tiger King 2 trailer got dropped. Like I called that. Did I not tell you?
So
I called that.
Carol Baskins is way pissed about it, and she's suing Netflix because
I told y'all it was coming. I told you, and you didn't believe me. You're like, no, it's just gonna be one off.
Yeah, they have footage that she doesn't want out there,
Told ya.
and so she's suing Netflix because they have no right to make a Tiger King 2 with what they filmed of her, even though she signed off on it last time already.
They're gonna find a way. Mm-hmm. You know, just like in Jurassic Park, if Netflix finds a way.
Yeah, now it's about Joe Exotic behind bars. Yeah, there's that. Hey, and talking about streaming service stuff, Book of Boba. Not the drink.
Unfortunately,
has gotten a trailer and all of that stuff.
What did you think about
at least images? Man, I don't like Star Wars.
See, wait a minute. Mr. over here could tell me Bosk's birthday, and
is that information that's been revealed before?
I don't know, but if it had been, you'd be like, oh well, it's Blurp October 23rd of the 17th metric hex of the Valdrani, and you're like, well, yeah, of course, duh.
Well, Bosk is clearly the coolest bounty hunter of the lineup, next to IG-88. Yeah, but IG-88's been kind of made less cool by his clone, basically, in Mandalorian, and everyone's like, oh, look at this robot. And it's like, man, IG-88 is so much cooler.
He is so much cooler. But I don't know, this is what Disney does. This is what everybody does. They find something that they think you like, and they're going to sink their dirty mitts into it and squeeze every drop of blood out of it like a filthy vampire. They're just gonna, and they're gonna get it all, and then they're gonna make you hate it. And Boba Fett, like when I was a kid, Boba Fett was like the coolest dude because he didn't say anything. He said like 3 things. He goes, "No good to me, dead," and then he'd do like the cool guy nod.
Yeah, and when Darth Vader goes, "Don't disintegrate people, motherfucker, don't do it," and Boba's like, "As you wish."
Yeah, he's like, "I guess. How else you expect me to do this?" And you're like, dude, this guy seems like a space pimp. And then they goof it all up in Baby Yoda show, and everyone's like, oh, cute, Baby Yoda. Oh, well, it's like Boba Fett. Everybody likes Boba Fett. And then you get like 1,000 episodes of Boba Fett. And I was like, guess what? They're going to probably do a Boba Fett show. And they're like, nah, they're not going to do that. Boba Fett show. And it's like,
well, the Boba Fett live action is what they've been talking about since 2008, 2009. There was always plans for that. Pre-Disney purchase of Lucasfilm, there was always plan of a live-action Boba Fett TV show, so it's just now finally seeing its fruition of or realization.
I think the Rogue One show got pushed back again.
Who cares? Rogue
I don't know. It's the only news that you can find about movies that are like Marvel, Disney, blah, blah, blah.
Look
blah,
at
blah,
Buzz
blah.
Lightyear be Captain America and have scenes from Captain America because he's voiced by Captain America. So there's that. Yeah, Buzz Lightyear is voiced by Chris Evans, and they have Captain America scenes. Speaking of Avengers voice and stuff, more Chris Pratt voice news.
I like everybody's like, he's such a good voice actor. It's like, no, he's just Chris Pratt.
He's been in the Lego movie, and what else as a voice actor?
He's just Chris Pratt. They like go, hey, let's see. I've in many years of the drive-in speaker box, because I was an aspiring voice actor when I was young. I wanted to do it my whole life, and I always respected the greats of voice acting. And that has become such a lost art because everybody just wants a name that they know, like it's nobody's gonna go see this if we have like a really good actor that creates a character voice for this character to tell the story better. No one's gonna go see that. Everybody's let's just put Chris Pratt in it, and it was like Kung Fu Panda was one of the big ones that just really drove me nuts because they're like, let's create this character that's a Kung Fu Panda. And who do we want to voice it? Well, let's get Jack Black because he's really popular. So let's also make the panda look, act, and sound like Jack Black. So it's just like having Jack Black in the movie instead of creating a new character. And
maybe the character was created for him, though.
No, the character was created to be him.
I think Jack Black is a good voice actor, though.
He's still Jack Black. There's not.
That's true.
There's no.
But I mean, if you listen for
Look
it,
at like the Frank Oz's of the world.
But if you listen, Tom Kenny's Tom Kenny. Frank Oz is Frank Oz. Billy West is still Billy West.
No, Billy West is like a million things.
I know,
West
but
is amazing.
if you're used to their voice and you listen for it, you can pick them out. I mean, I get what you're saying, but
I think
at the
to the
same time,
trained ear you can.
yeah.
But you can always go, well, that's Chris Pratt because it's Chris Pratt.
Well,
they want you to know it's Chris Pratt.
Because I'll see shows or I'll be listening to something. I'm like, is that Billy West? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But Chris Pratt is now, in addition to being Mario, going to also be Garfield in its reboot.
Well, at least it's not Bill Murray.
Bill Murray hating himself.
I'm sure that they asked
Bill
him.
Murray was like, he fit the bill for the voice of Garfield, especially based on how Garfield sounded in the cartoon and everything like that.
What's funny is because the cartoon was voiced by the guy who voiced Bill Murray's character in the real Ghostbusters.
Oh.
And so then you come full circle where Bill Murray's voicing the cat of the guy that originally did the voice that was him in the show. And it's like they just swapped. And it was kind of beautiful in a weird metaverse kind of way.
I read earlier that a lot of people are pushing to have the guy that plays Laszlo in What We Do in the Shadows be the voice of Garfield instead, and I think that would be,
I would sign up
really
for
good.
that really hard. It was like, John, get me some lasagnas.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. That would be great.
What was
You
his name?
son of a bitch.
What was his name when he was human bartender?
Oh,
Jackie Daytona.
Jackie Daytona, human bartender.
Yeah.
If you
That's
haven't
so
caught up
good.
with What We Do in the Shadows, season 3 is out
Oh,
in its entirety.
it's finished. Yeah, yeah.
So good.
It's so good.
So good. And my God, it's just like, what a cliffhanger, And it just, oh man, I saw a guy that I know went as Nandor for Halloween and had the voice down like perfectly. He's like, talking to you from the ether, and it was so good.
I thought about it too late, and I was like, damn, I wish I would have been Nandor for Halloween. 'cause
You
that would
could have
be
been
so good.
Nandor.
I could have been Nandor and just walk around, and every time someone talks to me at all,
you go, fucking
this
guy.
fucking guy. Oh
be
man,
great.
One of the best jokes in that whole show.
Night Owlishly says that they started it and couldn't get into it.
Oh,
Just
have
give
you
it
seen the movie?
Just give it a couple episodes. It's so good. It's
Watch
so
the
good.
movie so you get it in like a condensed short version, so you kind of get into it, and then watch the show. I think that probably helps because the show you're kind of like, what the hell am I watching? What is the premise of this? But if you've already seen the movie, it's already laid out for you, and because the show just jumps into it, they're like, hey, this is it. But if you watch the movie. One of the best jokes in that show is where the guide, Kristen Shaw, just appears out of nowhere, and Nandor goes, "This fucking guide."
It's fucking guide.
Yeah, it's so good. Nandor's perfect. It's the best character.
Oh, it would have been. It's a beautiful show. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. It's vampire stuff is already a soft spot for me, but what are you gonna do? What else in the thing? Do you got any news?
Eliza says I could be Oliver Peck.
It could have been Oliver Payne and just judge everyone's bad tattoos in public. That would have been great.
It would have been, yeah. I would have had to get like doesn't he always have like a toothpick or something?
You could get like a trucker hat and your hair's pretty much long enough for that.
Well, he always wears his, back in a ponytail.
You just give me a Sharpie and let me like draw lewd things all over your body, and then it'll be perfect. You'd be the guy. What else in the news? I don't know, the Foo Fighters movie. I was going to talk about that. Don't really have time. There was the R-rated Krampus. The naughty special features have been revealed. A lot of bonus features. With
like
that.
a re-release of the Krampus movie that already exists.
Yes, so it's called The Naughty Cut.
Are we going to get an explanation about the snow globes at the end a little more?
You might. I don't know.
I hope to.
I've been this close to ordering like the $400 animatronic like life-size Krampus thing from Spirit Halloween.
The one that has the kid and like eats it or whatever.
No, that's just like
That
a
one's
regular
pretty
demon
cool.
where the fog comes out. No, it's just the whole.
That one's sick.
That one is sick. This was just like the big ass Krampus, and he just like snorts and kind of rotates left and right, but he's like the full size, like 7 feet tall with the big horns and the hands, and because when I decorate for Christmas, I always like to try to include a Krampus, but this year I couldn't really figure out a place for it. But I was like, man, I gotta have that $400. Stupid. Me and my priorities, I guess. Did you have anything else on your paper?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well,
No.
let's talk about
Most of the news was all.
See, Night Owlishly asked, do you guys ever do top 10 lists for different categories? We have in the past. We used to do our annual worst of lists, which we would do, which I think we might do in...
now that more movies are coming out. Because, we put it on pause because there was only like 10 or 15 movies a year there for a minute.
There was, nothing to be seen. But more movies are coming out. Just like Eliza said, the French Dispatch trailer looks good. That was going to be the movie I wanted to watch this weekend, but didn't have a chance. I'm going to try and see it this week because it is playing at our local Malco. But I'm a Wes Anderson fan. This guy, not so much. But the problem with top 10 lists is they evolve. And, top 10... It's hard because if you watch this show enough, one of the messages that I always really like to try and relate to viewers is, we're not here to tell you what's good and what's bad. We're here to tell you what we like. We're here to tell you what we think is fun, what we think is good and bad based on our lifetime of being huge, big movie nerds, where, we can relate things to other films that we've seen, other styles that we've seen, other directors that we've seen, see where things derive from, where they're going, seeing trends and identify those things, and not just like going, the top 10 best horror movies ever are, because that's so subjective,
Well, it used to, when we didn't have the interaction element and everything like that. We got real technical about film and how things were filmed and recorded. And
the comment section ruined it. You guys ruined it.
I'm not saying that. But, we used to really go hard on the film aspect of it. But top 10 list, maybe one day when we have time to edit, one of us has time to edit.
We could do it.
We can be like the next... Watch Mojo or something like that.
Well, you got to learn. You got to learn After Effects. I'll film it. You edit
something
it.
that makes the dollars.
Yeah, I've been saying this for years. I'll film it. I'll light it. I'll do whatever. But somebody else is going to edit it. That's my least favorite thing about content creation. Is I hate editing. That's why we do the show live. Is because the fuck if I'm going to sit for another 2 hours and edit this thing down. So you just get it right off the dome. That's how it works. So. Yeah, like Night actually said, because we don't roll this way. And no, it would never be a typical top 10. We probably do really ridiculous top 10 lists, and we probably get a lot more followers that way if, we had 4-minute videos instead of 45-minute videos.
Top 10 times a guy does this face in a movie.
Oh, dude, that'd be a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but only the top 10.
Or if it's like a snap zoom to someone of that face where it's like, whoa, and it comes in really close.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vit says the podcast comes out almost before the show is over. Yeah, because I click stop upload. There it is. And we're already on Spotify before I even leave the studio.
Professional.
Yeah, we are professionals. Anyway, it's that time of the show where we tell you what's coming out in theaters this weekend because new movies come out every weekend. And there are not a whole lot of big movies coming out this weekend in theaters. I think everybody's giving Eternals a little bit of breathing room, even though the initial reviews coming out about this movie are quite bad. Everybody's saying it's really boring, which I could have told you that a long time ago. I think I did.
The trailer looks boring.
Everything about it looks boring. They're like, oh god, how do we keep making money off of Marvel things now that we've lost the biggest money-making character?
Well, it's like, when's the last time you saw either Angelina Jolie or Kumail Nanjiani in a movie that you're like, now this is a thrilling movie?
Now this is pod racing.
Yeah, not one time.
No.
It's like Angelina Jolie has not made an exciting movie since Wanted. Does Wanted count as an exciting movie? Chris Pratt gets hit in the face with a keyboard by Professor X.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, how about that? And that happens in that movie. And Kumail Nanjiani's movies are so far. He has like that date night movie that was really bad.
No,
he was in Men in Black 4.
As the little nugget that just goes jokes.
As a little character that was given way too much screen time.
Sam says top 10 Jamie Lee Curtis striptease scenes. All 10 of them would be from True Lies. Get out of here, duh. You only need that one. Anyway, movies that are coming out in the theaters this week. There is the new Kenneth Branagh film, which I'm surprised if it's going to get a nationwide release, but Oscar bait at its finest, because that's what Kenneth Branagh is really good for. Also playing that Defense Against the Dark Arts professor that was a big old wuss. But it's called Belfast, and it is about a young boy and his family kind of experiencing all the tumultuous time of the late 60s in Belfast. I've checked out the trailer for this. It looks pretty good. One of those kind of like tear jerkers. It's in black and white, so it's art, I guess. But it's Kenneth Branagh, and Kenneth Branagh is pretty good. I mean, I really wish that
the last couple of movies made money.
I wish that he would have made a sequel to the Orient Express. You know,
they're working on it.
Well, get on it, because Kenneth Branagh's Murder on the Orient Express was actually good.
Yeah, because if you go to Gal Gadot's IMDb page right now, for anything,
She's got a credit for?
She's in it. Yeah, it's like it's one of 15 other things. It's Murder on the Nile or whatever.
Yeah.
It's in like post production or production, or it's past pre-production.
I'm ready for it. Bring it to me.
Yeah, the first one was good, man. The Orient Express was not bad.
Okay, Vince coming in on Twitch with the info says Death on the Nile, February 11th, 2022. Boom. Thank you. That's why we have viewers that have Google, because we just out here. Also coming out this week, another one of those movies for the kids, Clifford the Big Red Dog. About New York City just so completely desensitized to anything weird happening in the city, to where Clifford the Big Red Dog could exist in this world, and everyone think it's fun.
You clearly haven't seen the trailer.
Everybody's like, wow, a big red dog.
No.
Shoot it.
Yeah, no, they are. That's the whole thing.
Not in the trailer.
Yeah, in the trailer.
What trailer did you watch?
They go, how big does he get? And the magical man is like, only as big as the love that you give him. And he becomes huge because the girl just loves him to
so
death.
much.
And then all of New York's like, get him, get the big dog.
Well, I want to see that trailer.
And they have to chase him, and then he saves people from like burning buildings and
Sam
stuff.
on Facebook was like, Clifford dies tonight.
That's pretty much the trailer. Yeah.
Now I've changed my mind. I want to go see Clifford.
I saw a super clip of Halloween Kills where everyone says that like 50 times.
Dude, yeah. Well, I mean, I think I talked about it in the episode where I reviewed the film, where they really just go all in on kind of a Trump allegory, and it's very terrifying. But yeah,
Night Owl's said so. That's why.
That's why I'm fat.
All the love people have.
Same.
Smart. Yeah.
Same.
That's now my reasoning as well.
But yeah, that's pretty much all that's coming out. There's another movie that's probably not getting a wide release because it's starring Bruce Willis and Neil McDonough. It's called Apex. It's about 5 elite hunters pay to hunt down a man on a desert island, only to find themselves becoming the prey. And if it's got Neil McDonough in it, sign me out, because
you don't like that guy. He was mean to you on a movie set.
He was mean to me on a movie set, and I think he smells and he can get away from me. So Neil McDonough,
well, he plays a butthole in almost every movie he's in.
He plays himself in almost every. And Neil, if you're watching this, dude, be nicer to people on set.
What are you doing with your time is what I want to ask.
Yeah, why are you watching me?
Hey, and good job in Band of Brothers, but why you always got to play a bad guy after that?
And
you beat up The Rock. And that's not cool, dude.
Bad job in Street Fighter. Because he was in the Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li, and he played M. Bison, which he had no business playing M. Bison. Him and his blonde ass eyebrows. Like when I was getting really into the 100 during quarantine because I needed something to watch, and I was like, oh yeah, this show's pretty tight. In the last season, it's all like, guess what? You know what the show needs? Neil McDonough. And I'm like, damn it! Oh! And I mean, fortunately, he got his comeuppance, but whatever. Just every time he walks on a movie, I'm just like, that guy.
Speaking of blonde bad guys, Vince said that Fathom Events announced that their upcoming Rocky IV with 40 extra minutes added to the movie.
Isn't that this week?
It's on the 11th. Yes, it is. He said it was the fastest selling Fathom event since the start of the pandemic. How about that? And if you don't have a ticket for that yet, I doubt you're going to find one, but you might look and see.
Just stand in the aisle.
It's a one showing only nationwide thing. There's one showing.
Let's get an encore. Can we get a round 2?
Ding.
A rematch?
Ding.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah. So that's right now. There you go. Blonde bad guy on the 11th.
I must break you.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I got my tickets a while back, so I will be there watching the 40 extra minutes.
Man, I'm jealous. I want to go.
And I hope it's all Living in America.
Living in America.
Because they just couldn't get James Brown to leave set. They're like, all right, James.
Just
that's
keep
enough.
on screaming.
And just like, "Aye."
I'd be down for that.
It's just they put the cape on him and they're like, time to get off the stage, James.
Can't go on.
Throws
Can't
it
go
off.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, anyway, that's what's coming out in theaters this week. You can check out those movies.
Vince pointed out it's mostly fight stuff. It is. They did say that almost the entirety of the 40 minutes is on the fights with Apollo and Drago, and then Rocky and Drago. But as joked about on the show, I really do hope at least some of that is Living in America and the Heart of Fire.
Where they're like running on the beach, like remembering.
No,
like
not the beach.
Friends.
That's in Rocky 3, where they run on the beach and because Apollo's teaching Rocky how to fight Clubber. How to fight Clubber Lang,
hugging like 80s
because they're
britches.
in L.A. They leave Philadelphia and they go to L.A. because that's where Rocky has to train to beat Clubber Lang.
That's where everybody has britches that their nutsack show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Rocky 4 is where Rocky flies to Russia and he trains in the snow.
In that he's like lifting up like branches and like logs, and he's in the snow hut just like
because
pulling.
Drago's getting juiced and he's on all the high tech equipment, and Rocky's just out in like a
chopping wood
farm
in the
shed
snow.
in a barn. Yeah, but Rocky 3 is where you get Eye of the Tiger, and Rocky
that's
4
right.
is Heart of Fire.
Okay. Well,
Heart's on fire.
Heart's on fire. That is a good song. If you need a Spotify playlist for getting pumped up at the gymnasium or whatever it is you do to work out, throw that one on there. It's a good one. I've run up the Rocky Steps in Philly and did the thing. I mean, like everybody does that when you're in Philly, and I have the I know that's a lot of freaking steps.
I greatly dislike traveling and running and climbing stairs. However, I would do that.
You have to. You have to. I wished I'd taken a picture of myself. Actually, I never take my pictures doing those cliche things because there's so many other people doing that, and I'm just like, man, I don't want to be that butthole. Even though I kind of want to be that butthole, then I just like go, nah, I did it, and I'll remember it. And then when I get old and senile and forget about it,
it's just a bummer they moved the statue, because they had the statue at the top of the steps, and they moved it. So.
Yeah. Night Owl, she says, immediate flashback to Arnold Schwarzenegger in that damn movie where it opens in the Russian bathhouse.
What is that? Red with Belushi, with Jim Belushi.
John Belushi or Jim Belushi. Yeah, it's oh man,
Red something.
Yeah, I've watched that movie a couple of years ago. It's pretty funny. Not a bad movie there. Red Heat.
There it is.
There it is. All right, let's see. Let's talk about some movies that are in theaters right now. Because, we talked about movies that are coming out this week, and now it's time to review movies that we done seen, guys. I guess I'll start with Last Night in Soho. Last Night in Soho, of course, the new film from Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright, everybody kind of... I don't know where Edgar Wright... There was a fork in the road where everybody just... decided that Edgar Wright was the super stylistic director, and I'm pretty sure it was Scott Pilgrim versus the World. When he came out with that in 2010, everybody was like, "Oh, this guy and his visual feast is something that can't be missed." Because before that, he was really only doing like the Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. He did the World's End.
Scott Pilgrim came out after Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz was in 2007.
I thought Hot Fuzz was way after.
But then he did Baby Driver in 2017, and that one was pretty fun. Very very music centric.
Yeah, music video, the movie.
And he's already set to do The Running Man, which I don't know how I feel about that because it's not going to have Arnold, and Running Man to me needs to have Arnold.
If it's a remake of Running Man was Schwarzenegger, then there's no reason to do this because
it's already a perfect movie. Yeah, it is. It's chef's kiss.
There will just be another interview with Schwarzenegger in the future, just like with friggin' Total Recall, where he's like, yeah, it bombed, it did so bad, no one liked it, and all I have to say is it's because it didn't have me, and I did it right the first time. It's like,
no one could do one-liners like me.
yeah, it's like clearly, Schwarzenegger's a phenomenon, man. I mean, look at this right here.
It's right there. It's
Look at
right
that.
on our set. Look at that.
And
They got you pushing too many pencils,
Carl
they
Weathers,
did it.
like from Rocky. We got
got him
Carl
right there.
Weathers' arm from Rocky. We got Schwarzenegger's arm right there.
Galen, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you can't top it.
But anyway, last night in Soho, let's talk about it. This film, kind of billed as a bit of a horror movie, a little bit of murder mystery, a little bit of all three. It's kind of a modern ghost story, starring Thomasin McKenzie as the main character, Eloise, and she's a really great actress. I really enjoy watching her on screen, except for sometimes her super high-pitched, squeaky voice can really get on the old nerves, but it also has Anya Taylor-Joy in it, who plays Sandy, who is this, a dream-like ghost figure that keeps coming out of the Eloise's dreams, and it starts to unfold the story of what happened to Sandy, who, their stories of the two of them start to parallel as they have big wide-eyed dreams, move to London, the glitz and the glam, and they get caught up in it, and it's not as pleasant as they thought it was going to be, and things take a dark turn. The movie has, it's got a lot of symbolism of, female empowerment. It's got a lot of, the problematic things of the swinging 60s with a lot of, just really shitty stuff that happened back then in a very, white, male, rich, empowered society. And it deals with all that really tastefully. And for most of this movie, I really enjoyed it. Edgar Wright has a really great eye. He has a really great sense of pace, and he really knows how to use music in his films. That, I think, is Edgar Wright's big strong suit. And this is no different. He goes back and forth with, some modern stuff, some stuff from the 60s, but then kind of intertwines the two with some cool new remixes. And it's a fun visual feast. My problem with it is it falls apart in the third act. And, a lot of people have a problem with this twist ending for very different reasons, because I don't want to give away too many spoilers with this movie, but there is a twist ending. It's kind of a shamalama ding dong of an ending. And, the deal with this one is it goes back to a rule that I say on the Drive-In Speakerbox a lot. And, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief in a movie to whatever nth degree you need me to, as long as the things that happen on screen sort of obey by the laws of the universe that the movie creates for itself. You know what I mean? If you're in a space movie and it's all about space things, and then something stupid happens that shouldn't be in that space movie, like when Princess Leia somehow survived in the vacuum of space, and then that exactly that doesn't work in the universe that you've created up until this point. You just broke all your own rules. And like Vince says, a movie has to follow its rules, and this movie didn't. And it didn't because it was trying to hide the twist ending. And to me, I thought it was sloppy script writing towards the end, and there could have been a really easy correction they could have made towards the end of this movie that would have not only protected the reveal of the MacGuffin at the end, but also left audiences wondering the whole time. But instead, they give you all this information that is misinformation, which doesn't fit into the flow of this story. And then you find out the twist and you go, oh, well, all the information I was given was wrong? Well, then that's not cool. Like, you couldn't... a good murder mystery, a good thriller, a good, psychological puzzle is fun if you can pick up the clues along the way and figure it out for yourself. That's what makes some of these movies really fun to watch, because you as a viewer are figuring it out just like the characters on the screen. But if the information you're given is completely wrong intentionally, there's no way you could have figured it out, and it makes the whole ending be like, well, fuck you. Like, that's not, you can't do that. You can't change the rules. And this movie did it. And I think that there was a very critical scene where there was a reveal. There was a reveal in this movie that was a false reveal. And you're like, oh, well, this is what happened to this character. And it turns out, no, that's not at all what happened to this character. it was a completely false reveal, so that when the real reveal happened, you're like, psych, it's this. And then that just pissed me off, and it made the whole direction go in a really weird way. And I don't want to give away spoilers, because this is actually a pretty good movie, and I think people should check it out, because it's not a traditional film in the sense of what makes money at the box office right now. And I think a lot of people were upset at the twist ending for the wrong reasons. I think they were like going, well, I didn't want these people to be bad. And that's what I actually liked about it, is this movie created every character capable of good and bad. I think that's what made Game of Thrones so successful. It makes a lot of things really successful, where people that you root for are capable of bad things, and people that you're kind of angry at are capable of good things. You can sympathize with a villain's decisions, and you can also sympathize with a good guy's fall from grace. And nobody's perfect, and that makes a more human story. But in this movie, I think it kind of ramped up this sort of female empowerment thing so high that when it kind of broke that down just a little bit, a lot of people got really upset. But I think it made it a lot more human and a lot more relatable, and I don't think it gave up any of the female empowerment of the story. I think that people just misinterpreted it a little bit differently. But anyway, Last Night in Soho, really cool, really interesting set pieces from the 60s, because period pieces are really hard to film, because the attention to detail that you have to do with automobiles, with clothing, with music, with continuity errors in the background, with things that just wouldn't exist in that time, were all really gone over with a fine-tooth comb. And then you have some performances by some amazing actors. They got Terrence Stamp to come into this movie.
Really?
And Terrence Stamp is just a phenomenal dude. Like, this guy has been in so many awesome movies. I'm pretty sure you know him best as General Zod from the 1970s Superman. But just as such a wide range of acting with this guy. He was Bernadette in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and this dude has been in so many movies. I think from the 60s till today.
Knowing that he's in it, I'm guessing he's one of the bad guys. Don't say if he is or not, but Terrence Stamp's always a bad guy.
I'm not going to tell you.
He's like never not a bad guy.
It's because he's got this like super orbital ridge that is just like menacing.
When he's that type of British where he's like, oh, that's a bad guy.
That bad guy kind of British.
Yeah.
But it's got a great cast. The music's good, the visuals are great, the lighting is phenomenal, the pacing's good. But if they had just shown you less at the beginning of the third act, I think that this movie would have stuck the landing a lot better. It would have made the reveal a lot stronger. And I wish that I could give away spoilers, but I'm not going to do it since it's so close to the movie being out. But if you watch it, you'll know what I mean. You'll be like, Bo was right, and you'll in your heart enjoy it just a little bit more, because you'll have gone in wishing that it were different. But anyway, it's in theaters right now. You can check it out. It's about 2 hours long. It's a great runtime. Didn't feel too long. Didn't feel too short. It was just right. So Edgar Wright doing it again. Last Night in Soho. Check it out. Movies that you probably can't check out are the one that you saw in theater in Rogers, I take it.
Yeah. Actually,
at our local like Hindi theater that shows like all the Tamil and Hindi movies that you can get your hands on,
or Telugu,
Bollywood
like
and Telugu.
Mahasamudram that I watched the other day, which one of the stars of that was in this movie. So how about that? The crossover of Telugu and Tamil and all these things. The
Telugu verse.
Out of all the Malco theaters in the country, only 2 of them were showing this movie. It turned out. So hopefully other movies.
It's only 2 theaters in the whole country?
No, 2 theaters of the Malcos. Other theaters are bound to be showing it somewhere. It was a $20 ticket, which I was not thrilled about.
Wow.
But here comes Vince with the foreign film.
Foreign films, emotes.
Man, here's one of Jake's foreign films. Slick Doggies, foreign movies coming at you here. I watched the new superstar Rajnikanth movie, Anate.
I like how you called him Superstar.
That's his
I
whole
know
thing.
that is his name, Superstar
Rajni. Yeah. So Rajnikanth, he's big time famous Tamil actor. He's in 176 movies. So he's in like just as many movies as friggin' John Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Big star, superstar, Rajni.
Biggest of stars.
He's the coolest. And Anate is about him. Anate means big brother, and that's the whole thing. It's a movie of familial piety. It centers around superstar Rajni. His character, the Anate, he has a sister that was birthed, and in doing so, his mom died, and he raised this sister. And he's the head of this family. It's up to him to keep the success of the family going, and he's like the president of this local community. So everyone looks up to him, and he makes sure that there's no trouble around in his village and all this stuff. Basically a badass, as you would expect from any kind of movie with Rajni in it, like in Theron 2.0, Peta, Kala, Kabali, any of these movies with Rajni. He's a badass. You've seen him. You know.
I've seen
I
him.
don't have to tell you.
But what about these guys out in the audience?
So
they
the
don't
whole
know.
thing is,
Google it.
He sent his sister off to be educated, and she's coming home, and he's so happy to have her back. But all of the people in the village and everyone in the family want her to get married, and so he tries to arrange a marriage for her with someone suitable for her. And they finally find someone in the form of the son of this guy who's been giving him a lot of trouble, and he's been having to just shut down left and right through the movie. A local thug bad guy type character, and through Rajni's strong hand and kind words, he turns this man around, and they arrange a marriage between his son and the little sister, to which she decides to run away with someone she met while at school, and this causes problems, right? Mm-hmm. So after the first half of the movie, which this was a 2-hour 45-minute,
was there an intermission?
There was an intermission.
Okay.
As
God intended.
The first half is like the rom-com, goofy movie, lots of jokes and comedy build. But at the end of that first half, he goes to find his sister, and it turns out she's been gone from riches to rags, and he has to fix it and start whooping up on these money lenders. And then you come back from intermission, and it's pure action, and it's so good. The first half of the movie, cheesy, goofy.
So, dude, I will say, like, Tamil, Bollywood, Telugu action is unlike anything else.
It's so incredible.
Except for maybe like Stephen Chow. You know, like there's levels of action. Stephen Chow's like up here, and then like the Bollywood encompassing stuff is like right underneath. It's just out of the
Oh yeah, because at the end of the first half, she's having to go pay these guys that she owes money, and they're of course trying to ask her for sexual favors instead, and Anate ain't having this. And so he just, with the hand that this guy touched his little sister with, he just breaks that hand over and over again and just crushes all of these dudes, tears up this whole bar, and then you're like, oh man, Anate's about to rage. And then it comes back from that second half, and it's just him shutting down crime, because all these guys are like, well, we got to get this dude. And he's like, you ain't getting me, bro. Ain't no one messing with my sister. Because what happens is this gangster goes around and he forces all these companies to sign over to him, and so he like runs the whole city because he owns all of the businesses. And
Thanks, Logan.
that ain't gonna happen. And then it gets deeper, because he has a even more evil older brother that gets involved later, and Anate has to get himself out of some trouble while also protecting his sister, who they decide to go after to get to him. And man, it has everything as you'd expect from an Indian movie. Absolutely everything. You got song and dance, you got comedy, you got color and stuff everywhere, happy fun times, romance, and then boom, pure action. Movie. And the whole thing just goes right up until the end with nothing but like climactic action after climactic action of just pure brutalism. It is.
Sam asks, does it have true love?
Yeah,
of course it
Over.
does.
Yeah, twice over, man.
You've never seen any sort of like
the bad guys put her husband that she's in love with, instead of her arranged marriage, into jail and have him beaten daily, just to keep her in line. And
I like how with Sam and Vince in the comments, it always turns into like Princess Bride somewhere else.
Well, we were talking about it earlier when we were talking about Boba Fett. He said, "As you wish." I think Sam pointed out. He goes, "As you wish" means I love you. Yeah, but man, it's so good. I had so much fun.
And you can't see it. None of you can see it unless you live here in Northwest Arkansas.
No, you can. Look for it.
Where are you going to go see it?
Oh, find it at your local theater. Bigger cities might have it. Out of all the Malco theaters.
No, so here's the deal. Actually, do you know why we get so many of these movies?
We have a decent-sized Indian population
Walmart.
locally. Yeah.
So we have a large Indian-sized population that works at Walmart home office, and the Waltons actually put a little bit of pressure to make sure that these movies come in so that they can have movies to watch.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Good.
It's pretty cool.
And it's so fun to be able to see and explore all of these different facets of a different culture, all wrapped up to within like a 2 to 3 hour period.
No,
and be
dude,
able
this
to
was not playing in any movie.
that.
Yeah, this is not playing hardly anywhere in the U.S. I'm looking at the box office roundup, and it ain't in there, dude.
I mean, it has to be there somewhere.
Maybe at the very, very bottom.
No.
Because or they didn't report it at all. Because there's number 36 was The Laws of the Universe. The Age of Elohim was playing in one theater.
Well,
it made
not that it's in at least 2
$465.
Malco theaters. It's in one here and one in Tennessee. And then
they must not be reporting very well.
Well, doesn't matter. It'll be available on like EROS or something like that soon. You can find a way to watch it. They hit VOD pretty quick.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, definitely something. And Night Owlishly pointed out, Bollywood's so crazy and enjoyable.
It's a lot of fun.
If
it really
Bollywood is one of the only experiences you have with Indian cinema, explore Telugu and Tamil cinema too, because Bollywood is specifically the Hindi part of it, and you'll start seeing a lot of crossover actors. A lot of people can do more than one language.
A lot of
and things like
superstars.
that. Oh yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. I had a good time with the movie, and even at a 2 hour 45-minute runtime, didn't seem like it because pure action carried it through the whole second half, and I couldn't get enough of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, it's about that time. We're almost out of time, so let's hit that box office roundup for the night and for the weekend of November 5th through 7th, 2021. We'll go for the 10th movie in America. We'll go up to number 1. Number 10, ouch. Big ouch, is Last Night in Soho. Only in its second week in release from Focus Pictures, bringing in $1.8 million in the box office, which ain't too good. So far, only brought in $7.6 million at the box office, and that's pretty rough. Number 9, Antlers from Fox Searchlight, coming in with $1.9 million in the box office this week, up bringing it total domestic gross up to 7.5 in its second week in release. It ain't doing that great either. Number 8, Spencer, which oddly enough coming out at a number 8 spot, which I did not think it was going to, but $2.1 million in its opening weekend from Neon. Number 7, Halloween Kills, still hanging out there from Universal in its fourth week in release, bringing in $2.3 million. So far, bringing it up to almost $90 million nationwide, which is pretty cool. Number 6, The French Dispatch, in its third week in release, although it hasn't been wide released up until this last weekend. It brought in $2.5 million, and so far has brought in $8.4 in its 3 weeks at the box office. Number 5, Ron's Gone Wrong, bringing in $3.5 million in its third weekend release from 20th Century Studios, bringing in total $17.5 million domestically. Number 4, still up there in 6 weeks in release, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, bringing in another $4.4 million. How this movie keeps making so much money, I do not understand.
Not a lot of other options at the theater.
I mean, I guess, but $197 million so far at the box office, which is just amazing. Number 3, No Time to Die, bringing in $6 million this week in its fifth week in release, staying pretty strong in the top 3. So far, bringing in $143 million domestically, so it's doing okay. Number 2, Dune, holding its own, still at the number 2 spot in the third week in release, bringing in $7.7 million, but only bringing in $84 million domestically at the box office. But the sequel has officially been greenlit.
Well, and Dune's also available on HBO, so there's some streaming revenue already coming in on that too.
All of that stuff, freaking HBO Max. But Warner Brothers pretty happy. The number 1 movie in America is The Eternals. We'll see how strong it is this next week, even though there's not a whole lot of new stuff coming out to kind of butt it out of the way. But reviews have been pretty weak. $71.2 million at the box office. Not as strong of an opening as Venom, which is pretty funny, but not a bad opening weekend in this theatrical climate.
Now, before we get too far away from it, Night Ashley said they took a Bollywood class, and some of them Beyond Beautiful. Absolutely. And if you go down to the top 12 movies, the number 12 movie was Suryavanshi, which is a Hindi Bollywood movie. In the top 12, rounding that out.
Yeah, it was number 12, 1.4 million.
Yeah, and then number 11 is a Fathom Event movie.
My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia, yeah. So out of those, there's a couple of foreign films there in some of the top spots of what was bringing in movies, or money at the movies, including a Indian movie from the Bollywood.
Yeah, for being number 12 in the U.S. box office, that's pretty good. But there you go. Vince's The French Dispatch trailer looks amazing. I'm going to definitely try and see that this week. That is my goal for you guys, is to watch The French Dispatch, because I wasn't really feeling any of the new releases this week. So that's going to be my promise to you.
Well, if I can find Suryavanshi, I want to watch it. But I'll tell you what was available for us. And if Rajni's in a movie, I'm going to pick it anyhow. So.
Hell yeah. Well, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're out of time. We will be back next week with more movie talk and more interacting with you guys. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the gift subs. Everybody out there on Twitch, if you are viewing this or listening to this in a podcast form and you want to participate in the fun next week, we're live every Monday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, over on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just search for The Drive-In. Speakerbox. Drive-In has a hyphen. Speakerbox is all one word. And yeah, any parting words there, dude?
I got nothing.
You got nothing. The dude abides. All right. Well, we will see you guys later. I'm going to figure out where my mouse is, and then I'm going to end the show with buttons like this. We'll catch you later, guys. Peace out.
See ya.